Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 5 of the 2028 National League Championship Series. In the first three games, the Cardinals won by one run to go up 3-0 and to have the Mets on the brink of elimination. However, the Mets ended up coming back in the bottom of the eighth of Game 4 and won Game 4 by a score of 3-2. So we've had four games this series, all of which have been decided by one run. And so now we are going to be playing Game 5 on the brink of elimination, and if we win this and Game 6, we're going to be playing the rest of the series on the brink of elimination. For the starting pitchers, we have Tarek Skubal on the mound, who had an alright performance. I mean, they've really just been running up his pitch count, and so he did not have his best performance last timeout in Game 1, and he will be facing Drew Rom, who shut us out over 5 1/3 innings in Game 1, and I have made changes to the lineup to sort of reflect the struggles of some of our players. Noticeably out is Harrison Bader and Francisco Lindor, who before now were starting every game against against left-handed pitchers. And I sort of shuffled things around. First of all, Juan Vargas was leading off, and I moved him to the 9 hole and put Evan Carter up at first. Then I also moved Brent Rooker down to the 8 hole. Alex Ramirez, who's going to be playing his first game against Drew Rom, is going to be hitting cleanup because that's just how the lineup really works out. I moved Jesus Rodriguez. He's part of the replacement for Bader. We put Rodriguez in as DH, moved Alonso to first, and then Brent Rooker to left. Then we have Christian Hernandez. Travis Bazzana has substituted in for Lindor, and then Rooker and Vargas close out the lineup. So we have a new look lineup against lefties, and hopefully this can really help us out in our efforts. I mean, I've lost faith in Bader and Lindor, and Nimmo and Bellinger both just have bad stats against lefties, so I didn't even bother to include them. Also, I will be using Bellinger as a pinch hitter in this game, and then I guess I'll put up with him being injured and playing in the field. That's something that we'll just have to deal with, but it is nice to sort of get him off his feet for at least the beginning of this game. As for the bullpens, St. Louis is probably going to be hesitant to go to Nick Robertson and Aaron Bummer. Meanwhile, we are in a more precarious situation. Andrew Saalfrank is tired, and so is Clase, Springs, and Sandlin. However, we do have 5 relievers. We have Scott, Sprout, and Vasile, and then we have the 2 lefties, Mabry and Lavender. And we'll really only go to these tired pitchers if we are in a jam, and I imagine that Brandon Sprout will be our substitute closer for Clase, who has pitched each of the past 2 days. So, without any further ado, we can get started here for Game 5 of the National League Championship Series. The fans are loud and amped after last night's win, or yesterday's win. I think we may have been playing during the day. And here we go. It will be Mason Wynn, Nacho Alvarez Jr., and Nolan Gorman to lead off. A dynamic camera shot. And we strike out Mason Wynn to start. I'll just check some real quick. Okay, sorry, just wanted to make sure that all the audio is okay. Right, here is Nacho Alvarez Jr., and he hits a grounder to the third baseman Hernandez, and he fires to first to retire Nacho Alvarez Jr. Now here is Nolan Gorman, and he gives up a base hit to Nolan Gorman, who will get on to first for the big bat in Jordan Walker. but strikes out Walker, and so we get out of the first inning unscathed. Carter, Alvarez, and Alonso due up. Now for the Mets. Just checking the pitch count. And Carter into left field, but it looks like it will be caught by Nootbaar, and so that'll be the first out. Here's now Francisco Alvarez. A 1-2 count, and he strikes out. And now here is Pete Alonso, moved up to the 3-hole. He works a 1-2 count. And Alonso with a little grounder, but he will be retired. And so we enter the second, still tied at nothing. Burleson and Herrera will lead off this inning, and Burleson, that is a second lefty already to get a base hit against Struble. And they're already booing. That is going to be a base hit for Ivan Herrera, so the Cardinals have now had 3 singles so far early on. Here is now Lars Nootbaar. He works a full count against Struble, and he hits a base hit up the middle. So Struble has faced 3 lefties so far, and has given... Oh wait, he did score, my bad. He has faced 3 lefties and given up a single to each of them. Here is Nathan Martorella. And here is Jazz Chisholm Jr. And Chisholm into center. It looks like it will be caught by Evan Carter, and it is. And here's now Mason Wynn. And Wynn slash the other way. That's going to be a base hit. This may be able to drive in the runner. It is a slow runner on second, and they do not try to score. So now it is Nacho Alvarez Jr. who struck out in his first at bat. And I think I might just have to get up that seal. Things continue to get bad. And he strikes out Alvarez Jr. But I talked about them running up Struble's pitch count, and they did that. Tarek Struble is at 51 pitches through 2 innings. And at this rate, he'll be done after the 3rd or 4th. Ramirez, Rodriguez, and Hernandez. And Ramirez down the line, but it will be fielded by the 3rd baseman, Wynn. Here is Jesus Rodriguez making his first start of the postseason. And Jesus Rodriguez, it's a grounder to the 2nd baseman. Now here is Christian Hernandez. It's the 0-1, and Hernandez has himself a base hit, so the Mets have their first base runner of the game. Now it's Travis Bazzana, and Bazzana strikes out. So here we now go. Drew Rom has only thrown 26 pitches through 2 innings. And he strikes out Gorman. Here is Jordan Walker. And Walker, it's into center field deep, but Carter will settle underneath it, and so that will be the first out. And here is now Alec Burleson. And Burleson with a little number. It is fielded by Alvarez. He fires to first. And so Struble has a very quick 1-2-3 top of the 3rd. Rooker, Vargas, and Carter due up for the Mets. And Rooker strikes out. Here is Juan Vargas. And Vargas into the gap, and that's probably going to be for extra bases, and it will be. Vargas is going to head into second. Will he try for third? He will. And it seems like Juan Vargas is going to get in there with a 1-out triple. And so just like that, the Mets have a golden opportunity to tie the game. And Evan Carter will now hit. First pitch to Carter. He hits a base hit up the middle. Vargas scores, and Carter will pull in first with a base hit to tie the game. Now Drew Rom does... Actually, can I see real quick, like... what's this? Runners thrown out percentage, 36.4%. Evan Carter has stolen 28 bases. I think I'm going to try stealing with Carter. I think we need to be more aggressive on the base paths. And Carter decides not to go, and I think I'm just going to simulate the at-bat for Alvarez. That's an 0-2, and he hits himself a base hit. And we're not going to try advancing. The ball is shallow, very shallow. Carter is a fantastic runner, but Jordan Walker does have that cannon for an arm, so Carter will be staying at second. So now we have runners on first and second for Pete Alonso. And Alonso deep into left center field, and this is a 3-run ball game. Pete Alonso makes the score 4-1, his 4th home run of the postseason, and we now have a decent lead against Drew Rom. Drew Rom, who held us scoreless through 5 1/3 innings in Game 1, has now given up 4 runs in only 2 1/3 innings here in Game 5. We still have at least 2 more hitters to go, and it will be Alex Ramirez and Jesus Rodriguez. And Ramirez strikes out. And so now here is Jesus Rodriguez. He works a 2-2 count. And he strikes out Rodriguez. So Rom bounces back after the 3-run home run by Pete Alonso to strike out the next 2 batters. However, the damage was already done. Herrera, Nootbaar, and Martorella are due up for the Cardinals in the top of the 4th. Grounder to Vargas. He'll fire to first, and Ivan Herrera is retired. Here is Lars Nootbaar. He works a 3-1 count. And he walks him. Now here is Nathan Martorella. I think I honestly might have to prepare to take out Skubal here, since he's just been 77 pitches through 3 1/3 innings. And I think I'm going to bring in Mike Vasil, see if he can get us through the 6 right-handed hitters. The first 6 hitters of the lineup when they come around. And then I will go back to... we'll just see. We have a very tired bullpen right now, but I think that we'd be able to use these 5 pitchers, and I think they do well enough. Full count to Martorella, and he hits into the left field. Rooker will settle underneath it and make the catch. And so now here is Jazz Chisholm Jr., and this is definitely Skubal's last at-bat. That must have been, I think that was a 10-pitch at-bat from Martorella. So here we go, the 2-2. And he strikes him out. So Skubal gets through 4 innings. That's all he's going to pitch in Game 5. But we thank him for his efforts and hope that Mike Vasil can get us 2 innings by facing these first 6 hitters. Hernandez, Bazana, and Rooker are due up. Drew Rom is still on the mound. Hopefully we can get him out. And Hernandez... but that's going to be a diving catch by Lars Nootbaar. Here's Travis Bazana. He works a 3-1 count. And Bazana deep into center field, and that ball is going to get down and hit against the wall. So facing the lefty, Bazana will pull into second with a double. Bazana has just been so great for us so far. He's really been clutch in this postseason. Now here is Brent Rooker. And he works a 3-1 count. And Rooker into center field, but it looks like it will be caught by Chisholm. And so now here is Juan Vargas with 2 outs and a runner on second. Vasil will get up. And Drew Rom gets the line out to the 3rd baseman Mason Wynn. And so we remain in the lead. The score remains the same entering the top of the 5th. And we're going to bring in Mike Vasil to face these, at least the first 4 hitters. And then I think, just in case, I think Nathan Lavender is probably going to be the first lefty out of the pen for us. And hit into the gap already by Mason Wynn, so Vasil has given up a double to the first hitter that he faces. and the crowd is booing. Here is Nacho Alvarez Jr., and I still do not know what that guy is saying. Hit into center field, and Carter makes the catch. So that is 1 out, but Wynn tags up to third. Here's now Nolan Gorman, and he's going to walk on 4 pitches from Basile. And now we have a dilemma, because we only have really 4 relievers after this. I'm going to need Basile to finish an inning. He gets to the 0-2 against Walker, and he strikes out Jordan Walker. A very important strikeout, and so now he will face Alec Burleson. And Burleson pops it up, so Basile goes through at least 1 inning, though it is very shaky. Alright, then I think we'll have Basile face Herrera, and then we'll bring in Nate Lavender to pitch the next 3 hitters. Carter, Alvarez, and Alonso due up. And Carter grounds out. Rom still on the mound. Here's the 2-2 to Alvarez. He works the count a little bit at least, and he hits the ball deep into left field. That ball might have enough, and it does. Francisco Alvarez has himself a solo home run, and so it is now 5-1 Mets. That is Alvarez's 3rd home run of the postseason and his 3rd of the series. See, Alvarez homered in games 2 and 3, and now he's homered in game 5, and he has really heated up for us the past few games. Here is Pete Alonso. Oh, and Chad Green is now on the mound as he replaces Drew Rom. So Alonso will hit. Will be the first hitter that Chad Green faces, who had a 911 opponent's OPS, and that OPS is now going to be 2000s this game, with a leadoff single against Green. Well, 1-out single. Alex Ramirez and then Jesus Rodriguez are due up, the full count, and Ramirez hits it, and it gets past the shortstop, so that is going to put runners on first and second with 1 out. And now the question is, do we bring in Cody Bellinger for Jesus Rodriguez? I think that would be definitely good. That would definitely be the best offensively for us. It's a good question. We are up by 4 though, and Jesus Rodriguez is our backup catcher. I don't think anybody has catching experience on this team. But I think also the chance that Alvarez gets hurt is very unlucky. And hell yes, let's go Mets. Let's go Mets in the chat. We are currently up 5-1. So I think I'm going to bring in Cody Bellinger as the designated hitter to pinch hit for Jesus Rodriguez against the lefty. So here we go, the 1-2. Yeah, given how the Mets have been performing, I think I may rather watch this. And all of you watching at home, because I know that people do watch these, should check out my stream more often. Here is Christian Hernandez, returns the first and second. The Bellinger substitution just did not work, and it's going to be a strikeout against Hernandez. But Francisco Alvarez, it's a solo home run, and so we extend our lead. I'm going to warm up Nathan Lavender, and he is going to come up after Basile faces Herrera. And I hope you're doing good, Aaron, in the chat. And Basile gets his 1 hitter. So we have 4 relievers left and 3 2/3 innings to pitch. And hopefully no extra innings. I'm going to take out Basile, and Nathan Lavender is now on the mound. And hopefully Lavender can just retire these 3 hitters. And that's going to be a fly out to the center fielder. And I think congratulations on finishing your internship, Aaron. Hell yeah. I'm clapping right now. I don't know if you can hear that. It was just a very soft clap, though. I wasn't trying to break people's eardrums. Alright, let's get up Christian Scott real quick. Yes. and I hope you got a lot out of the internship. Ayo, what? Okay, here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. And he gets him out. So, unfortunately, Lavender is not going to be able to pitch in the next inning because I don't want him facing any righties. But that is just a minor sort of setback. Bazana, Rooker, and Vargas do up, though I'll probably have to pinch hit for Rooker. And Bazana has a base hit. So, a good start for us. Chad Green really does not do much in terms of, you know, holding runners. What I'm thinking we'll bring in Brandon Nimmo right now, which I think might bring out Imanaga or Brock Burke, but I think that making sure that we have this matchup and can potentially score off of it is going to be important. So Brandon Nimmo will come in to pinch hit. And I think I might also start by Lozano really didn't steal much, and I don't think I'm going to try stealing with him. I think I'm just going to let Nimmo do his thing. And Nimmo pops out. So that didn't really work out, but we'll see what else happens. Here is Juan Vargas. Works a full count, and he walked, so that's great. And now it's Mason Miller on the mound. He pitched in, what did he pitch? Game 2, I believe, is that? No, yeah, Game 2. As you can see, he's not as dominant as he used to be, but he's still very good. So you can't really complain about that. Christian Scott, I mean, I can complain about it since we're facing him, but, you know. So here is Evan Carter. And Carter strikes out. Ugh. Here's Francisco Alvarez, who homered his last time up. And Alvarez hits into center field. Will it land? It will not. It will be caught by Chisholm Jr. And so we threaten in the 6th, but we do not get anything from it. I am going to, I think, take out Brandon Nimmo. He was only there for the pinch hit. And I'm going to bring in Harrison Bader. We have 3 innings left, and we have a 4-run lead. I think it's time that we start doing the best that we can defensively. Bader will play center field, and Evan Carter will play left field. I know this is not the World Series. Yesterday we only did the first 4 games. So yeah, this is the NLCS. But soon enough we're going to be playing in the World Series because we're about to win this game and the 2 games after this, obviously. And then I'm going to take out Nathan Lavender and put in Christian Scott, and hopefully he can get us through, get us 6 outs between these next 2 guys, between these next 6 hitters. So Christian Scott steps in, and it's a fly ball to right field, but it will be caught by Alex Ramirez. Here is Nacho Alvarez Jr., and Nacho Alvarez Jr. will pop out to the catcher, Alvarez. And so now here is Nolan Gorman. And that's a huge performance by Christian Scott. He will now also be starting the 8th inning for us to face the middle of their order. So we have 2 relievers who are still fresh to go with, but we'll be starting Scott in the next inning. Will Mabry is next up out of the pen once we get past Herrera. So Alonso, Ramirez, and Bellinger will be due up. And it starts out with a 3-0 count to Alonso, and it's a leadoff walk. So now Alonso is at first, and now it's Alex Ramirez. And Ramirez strikes out. And so now here's Cody Bellinger. And Bellinger strikes out, so now here is Christian Hernandez. And Hernandez deep to right field, and that ball is out of here. Our 3rd home run of the game, and the Mets now lead 7-1 and make it a 6-run ball game. I believe that is Christian Hernandez's, that's his 2nd home run of the postseason. And it is some great insurance. Why do we got a Yankee in our team? Well, in this universe, Cody Bellinger never was a Yankee. And that's all I have to say about that. In fact, this is actually his 2nd stint with the Mets. When I signed him, I didn't even know that he was previously on our team. because this is an alternate universe. So it is now Bazana against Miller, the 0-1, and Bazana hits it hard, but it will be fielded, and... No, is that an infield single? Nope, it is a ground out. So now it is Christian Scott. He'll be facing Jordan Walker, Alec Burleson, and Ivan Herrera, and after Herrera, Will Mabry will be coming on to pitch. So it's a 1-0. And Walker into left field. That's going to be his first hit of the game. And now here is Alec Burleson. And Burleson into right field, but it will be caught by Alex Ramirez. So we have 1 out. Jordan Walker's not especially fast, but he does have high stealing ability. And we have seen them throughout this series so far use their slow runners to catch us off guard and steal second. So I'm going to throw over. I'm going to throw over again. And, okay, now let's face Ivan Herrera. This is going to be Scott's last hitter. And he walks in. So Scott faces 3 hitters in the top of the 8th. 2 righties, both of which get on, and 1 lefty, which he retires. Will Mabry will now come on, and he will face Nootbaar, Martorella, and Chisholm Jr. And after him, I'm going to warm up Brandon Sprout. A full count to start, and we walk. Ay, ay, ay. We walk Nootbaar, sorry. And here's now Martorella. I'm going to visit the mound just to make sure that Mabry is okay. And we're going to walk in a run. So Mabry has no control coming out of the pen today. Here is now Jazz Chisholm Jr. This is going to be his last hitter, no matter what. Gets the 0-1, and Chisholm into center field, but it will be caught by Bader. The throw in will not be in time. In fact, it will be a little up the third baseline. So it is now a 4-run ball game, 7-3. And now I'm going to bring in Brandon Sprout, and it is going to be his job to get the final 4 outs. And launched into center field, but that ball will hit off the wall. That's going to drive in at least 1 run. And will it drive in a second? I don't know. The camera angles are not good. It is a 2-run double, and now the tying run is at the plate. I don't like this game. I don't like what's happening. Alright, so... And the only thing to do is to, have Sprout continue to pitch. The 2-0. Ground it, and we get out of the inning. But, kind of disastrous. Scott only gets 1 out. Mabry doesn't get a single out. He just... Oh, no, I think he does get 1 out, but it's just not good. He lets on 3 runners, and then, or 2 runners, and then Sprout also does not do well. Brock Burke will face Bader, Vargas, and Carter. Bader was a defensive substitution, and hopefully he can do something on offense here to give us some padding. And he grounds out to first, which he's done many times, either that or strike out. Here is Vargas. And Vargas with a base hit. So he's going to be on first. And I'm just going to steal with Vargas. He can run. Vargas goes, and he easily steals second base, so we have a runner on second now. And here is Evan Carter, the 1-0. And Carter will ground out to the first baseman. Vargas does move to third base, so a single is guaranteed to score him. Francisco Alvarez is up now, gets to an 0-2 count, and Alvarez strikes out. So that's the inning. We now move to the top of the 9th. We need 3 outs in order to move on to the top of the... So we need... We need 3 outs to go to the... Sorry, I'm just checking something real quick. Okay, I think I'm good. 3 outs to get to game 6. I mean, I think Jeffrey Springs would be the person that we bring in case things get bad. But I'm just going to keep on pitching Sprout, and hopefully he just gets 3 outs. So we get the first strikeout. Here is Jordan Walker. It's a 1-2 count. And Walker strikes out. And now we are facing Alec Burleson. And it's an 0-2 count. And it's hit down the line. Alonso takes it to himself. And the New York Mets live to play another day. As now, and I think we're having issues now with the stream. That is strange and not supposed to happen. Okay, let me try ending stream real quick and just restarting again. So yeah, sorry, let me just fix that real quick. Oh, sorry, I just had to fix something real quick. So here is the box score. Obviously we had, it started out favorable for the Cardinals, but after that bottom of the third, you know, we just kind of handled the game after that. It did get a little dicey in the top of the 8th. However, we did end up coming back. And I will see everyone in the chat back. Yes, let's go Mets. So we do end up surviving that game. Here is the St. Louis box score. They had 8 hits on 6 walks and only 2 extra base hits. It was just 2 doubles by Mason Wynn. On our side, it was much more fruitful. We had 12 hits, but only 2 walks. But we had 1 double, 1 triple, and 3 home runs. And also a stolen base. So we overall were just a much better offensive team. Almost every player got involved in it. Scrolling down here, we have the pitching. We got to Drew Rom this time. Last time, he just kind of wrecked us. He was handling us the entire time. Through 5 1/3 innings, but we got him out after 4 1/3 innings and 5 earned runs. On our side, Tarek Skubal threw 95 pitches in only 4 innings, so we had to take him out, unfortunately. But then the bullpen came in. Mike Vasil pitched an inning and a third, Nate Lavender 2/3 of an inning, and then Christian Scott and Will Mabry did struggle, but Brandon Sprout came in clutch for that final inning. And so that is it for Game 5, and I will see you all in Game 6.